days. We gon' walk it out and move on days. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Brenda, aka Reese, and I'm back with more of the Brenda Sanders story. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to my channel. If you have not done so already, take this time to like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and feel free to leave a comment. If you have already done so, I'm very thankful. Now I'm going to get into something very, very sensitive. So if you have kids watching or listening, please get them to leave the room. Now, I want to get into the subject of suicide. According to statistics, 20% of high school students anticipate suicide by the age of 18. Y'all, 8.9% of those students actually commit suicide. Suicide is also the second leading cause of death in youth and adults, ranging from ages as young as 10 years old to 34. Now, if you or anybody you know has had suicidal thoughts or suicidal tendencies, do not take that lightly. Please call the number 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Now, let's get into this story. Okay, so recap, last story we talked about Chester and the struggles of me coming from that attack to try to get back into reality. Well, it didn't go so well. Of course, kids can be cruel. We know that. Kids can be cruel. And not only that, the adults, at that point, they was neck and neck on the bullying shit. Like, of course, the kids, they said mean shit in school. They would stick nasty letters in the locker, you know what I mean? And these are people I dealt with on a day-to-day basis. So it was really hard. At home, the atmosphere was crazy. Of course, I was the most talked about, the most hated girl in the town, especially in the black community. The black community despised my ass. The adults, they used to say things like, you know, don't talk to her, to their sons. Don't talk to her. She'll say you did this to her, or, you know, you say that about my son. You know, I'm gonna F you up. And I mean, it just went on. It was very, very hard. Especially as a young girl dealing with all of that. The vibe between me and my foster mom at the time had just completely, it was in shambles, you know what I mean? I was screwed up, you know what I mean? She didn't know how to deal. It was just all kind of screwed up. So many things had happened to the point it was like no repair, pretty much. So I'm back again on a downward spiral, trying to deal with all this stuff I'm dealing with. So I'm back on a downward spiral. I'm still out there having sex. I started not as much, you know what I mean, because of what had happened. So for the most part, you know, it took a while to get back into that. But after a while, I needed an outlet. I just wanted to be numb. I didn't want to care. I just wanted to be away. I began to get back out there doing things I shouldn't, drinking, smoking marijuana, all these typical things. And this time I got sent off again for a significant amount of time. I was impatient, you know, and they was not letting me go until I actually completed the program. I had to get my life together. I had to get it together because oh, so much was happening. I had got pulled out of public school. I was going to a behavioral medicine school, and it was just horrible because the friends I did have, I never got to see them. I missed everything. There was no sports, there was no nothing. Behavioral medicine, my days consisted of therapy, school, group therapy, individual therapy, therapy. And this went on for months and months and months and months. So finally, I come out of that. I go back into the school, public school, and I'm trying to make that transition. I'm going here, and now I've got to get back into the transition of being around all these normal kids. So there's the whispering. There's some welcomed me back, and it was cool. Others not so much. So let's fast forward a little bit. It came time for Chester to be released, make parole of his prison sentence. And he did. He was granted the parole. And one night I don't know what I was doing, to be honest. I can't remember. I don't know what I was doing, but I was walking home. And he pops out of nowhere, as he always did. He popped out of nowhere. And I was immediately shook. I was shook. So I started to, how you motion your body to run? Well, he jumped in front of me. And he told me, he was like, calm down. I'm not going to hurt you. So I'm scared. I'm tearing up. I'm scared. I don't know what the hell is fixing to happen. He tells me, if I wanted to hurt you, I could have been hurt you. He said, do you know how many times I've seen you out here hanging out clothes? Do you know how many times I've watched you in your window? Do you know how many times I've did this? I could have been snapped your neck, These are the things he is saying to me, y'all. So I'm terrified. And he tells me, he was like, he telling me, this is what I'm going to do for you. He was like, in order for you to live in peace, anytime I want it, you got to give it to me. Or you're going to pretty much experience what you experienced last time. And this time, you're not going to live to tell the story. So this is my ultimatum. This is what I'm faced with. And, he goes on to tell me, if you say anything, if I hear it back, I know where to find you. I know this. And he started going into details about things about me and my routine that he should not know. So, okay, now the energy is through the roof, and it's chaos. Everything at home is just pure chaos because everything is about him. He's back, this, that, and the other. And now the bullying is really, the grown-ups, the kids, is really starting to take effect on me. And I couldn't take it anymore. And at that point, y'all, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have nobody to talk to. I was in a corner. I was alone. I was scared. It was so much going on. And it's emphasis on this because a lot of people speculated about what happened and why. This is the why. This is the why, and you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. Damn the speculation. I was back into a corner, and I didn't know what to do, and I felt so alone. There was nobody to love me. And I'm not going to say how I did it because I don't want to give anybody any ideas. But what I will say is I took the time to poison myself. So I poisoned myself because I just wanted to die. I didn't care anymore. I wanted to die. I poisoned myself. So someone finds me laying in the hot water. I'm skipping. I went to Walmart with one of my sisters that morning, and she just kept asking me, what's wrong with you now? She didn't know. I had already taken the poison. Nobody knew because I didn't tell anybody. But she kept asking me, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And I'll never forget, we was in the automotive department. And I started to walk slow because I just felt, it's like I could feel my insides just deteriorate. It was, y'all, it was hell. So we're in the automotive department, and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" At the same time, she's not a fan of me because of things that had happened in the past. So she's kind of nonchalant. She's asking because I'm visibly, something is wrong, but at the end of the day, it was like, who cares, So I told her, I said, I just got to take a minute to sit down. She said, "Where are you gonna sit down at?" She said, "Look where you at. Ain't nowhere for you to sit." She was like, "You need to come on." So yeah, anyway, she's telling me, there's nowhere for you to sit. You need to come on, You causing the scene, you need to come on. And I remember, I think it was like hammers or something. I had just put my hand down and I sat on the little thing right there where all the hammers and all the tools was. I just sat there because she didn't know, but I knew what was happening. I was slowly, like, deteriorate on the inside, and I felt like crap. So anyway, she get me up. I don't even remember the car ride home, and it was like a 35-40 minute car ride home, and I don't even remember it. I think I was in and out of consciousness because when we got back to the house, she told my mom, yeah, she was sick. I don't know what's going on with it, So by this time, my mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Nothing." And she was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because I didn't want anybody to know. Y'all, I really wanted out. I didn't want anybody to know. Well, one of the girls came over later, and they found me laying halfway in the room, halfway in the hallway. I was out. So they get me to the hospital. We get to the hospital, and the doctor, of course, they call the police. The doctor, they're telling her, there's nothing wrong with her. This is just, it's got to be, attention. She's got to be trying to seek attention because there's absolutely nothing wrong with her. So they call the police, and you know how that routine goes. So they like, "You can take her home. It's nothing. This is just for attention." Y'all, they, on the way out of the hospital, I hadn't even made it outside. We were walking through, and I collapsed right there. Collapsed, stopped breathing completely. And the whole time of me being in the hospital, I coded like 5 times. It had that night, they had told her, we don't think she's going to make it through the night. We've done all we could do. We just don't think she's going to make it through the night. So it was risky, but I made it through the night. They had me on a ventilator. And I'm speeding through this stuff, guys. So they had me on the ventilator, and then days later they was like, "Okay, we're going to try to wing her off the ventilator, see how she does." They took me off the ventilator. Boom, I coded. So, during this time, they have to get all my family from Louisiana, everywhere. This happened in Oklahoma. So family from Louisiana, everybody is there now because, they pretty much told her, there's nothing else that could be done. Everybody needs to get together and say their goodbyes. She's not going to make it. But, hey. So, and this happened like 5 times, guys. So I remember waking up. I was in ICU. I remember waking up. I was frustrated because I had been out for so long. They had to put me in a coma. I was in a coma. And I had been out for so long. I couldn't talk, I couldn't write, I couldn't do anything. And it was the nurse there. And the nurse was just really, really teary-eyed. I was a miracle, so all this stuff happened, and I get ready to come home. And so I have to learn the use of my legs. I have to do all this again because everything was just damaged. But anyway, so as you can see, I made it through that. Afterwards, I'm back in another facility. This time I'm in a rehabilitation center. And this is the sad part about that. One of my doctors at the rehabilitation center was one of my doctors years before, because by the time the suicide attempt happened, I was 17. The doctor, he was one of my therapists when I was 13 in one of the institutes I was in. So when he seen me, he just cried. His heart was so broken because he had already read my file, and before then he had read my previous file from back before I even came to foster care. So his heart was just broken to see me at that point in life. Yeah, so I did all this. I went through the rehabilitation. I was able to get home. Y'all, the one person I thought hated me the most, which was my foster mother, y'all, she was there every single day. She never left my side. And I think that was one of my breakthroughs as far as actually considering her my mom. But yeah, I gotta get up out of here, but I just wanted to tell y'all that quick story because I want to make this a point. Y'all, I need y'all to love yourselves. And when I say love yourself, I need you to love yourself like you're not waiting on anybody else to love you. Because ain't nobody gonna love you like you love you. You need you. Do not sleep on you. Do not play with you. Don't play about yourself. Love you. Things we go through in life, they take us down. But guys, there's always up. And if you ain't got nobody but God, then you have all you need. Y'all, I gotta get up out of here. I gotta get ready for work tomorrow. So again, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Also, don't forget, if you or anyone you know has had suicidal thoughts or suicidal tendencies, don't forget to call that number, 1-800-273-8255. Get the help. I'm going to get up out of here. Follow me on TikTok, Wise Queen, YZE Queen, and on Facebook, Brenda Sanders. And until the next video, y'all be blessed. Be breezy.